Hello, it's Liz here. Welcome back. Today I'm going to do journal cards with vellum pockets using postcards, and this is Roxy's weekly challenge, week 17. I've put a wee bit of my own spin on the challenge because I've used stamped images which I have coloured. So this is what I've come up with. It's postcards, which are postcards on the back, and you get some vellum and you attach the vellum to the postcard, making a pocket, and then decorate them. I have sewn around them. Obviously you could glue round. Added a little bit of inking around the edges because the postcards are quite modern looking, and added my little birds. So I've already had a play and I've made 3. You can see nice stamped birds, and there's the pocket and sewn round the edge. I've also added a little stamped bird to the back of them here, and this one here. So I'm going to make a couple just to show you what I did, and we'll put these aside for now. So the postcards, I had a bundle of these postcards. I've had them for a long time. They're in my stash, but they're really quite modern looking, so I've picked out the ones that I thought were the least modern, which these two. They had a bright trim round, so I just trimmed them down a little bit just to get rid of the brightly coloured trim. I've cut 2 pieces of vellum, and this is from the Tim Holtz Idea-ology paper stash vellum, Wallflower. So that's where the vellum comes from. And yeah, so I've cut 2 pieces, and they actually go on that side of the card because you want to leave the postcard side on the back. So we do that and that, and I'm going to sew around these again, but before I take it away and do that, I'm going to prepare my birds. So I'm going to stamp as usual on some watercolour card. This is just a cheap watercolour card from Hobbycraft in the UK, but I'm sure you can get it from other places. Okay, let's fiddle around and get this in the right spot for stamping. So I just need 2 of the birds, so I'm going to do this little one and that one that's in flight. So we'll do this one first. Because I am using watercolour, I'm going to be using my VersaFine ink pad, which is Onyx Black. Gives a nice crisp clear image. We'll give it a good hard press down in a few seconds just to take to the paper. There we are. Just give that a little rub, pull that off, and this one. So this stamp set is Memory Box, Bird Sanctuary. It's reasonably new. I would imagine that you can still get that one. I've had it a wee while, but I don't think it's ancient. And again, we can stamp this down. I'm going to fussy cut round, so it doesn't matter that I'm not leaving too much of a space round about. Okay, that's that done. Can move them out the way. So I'm going to use distress markers to colour. I'm just going to keep to the same colours as I used before. So I've got peeled paint, scattered straw, mustard seed and frayed burlap. So let's just do the green bit first, and I'm just going to use this acrylic block to put some of the ink, and I've got a little bit of water here, and we'll just wet that and smoosh that on his wings, her wings, his wings, and a little bit round the body. So that's just a first wee layer of colour. Obviously these birds aren't, I'm not going to stick to the, I don't know what kind of birds they are. They actually look maybe like they could be blue tits, but for me they're going to be green and yellow birds because that's what suits my, and a little bit of the yellow. Is it going to go in that? I think this yellow's nearly done. Let's try the other yellow. That's nearly done too. I think I'm going to have to treat myself to more. Oh, it is there, it just doesn't show up very well against the white. There we are. So by this time the green will be ready for another. This time we won't add so much water. We'll dry off the brush and give it some highlights just here and there. Doesn't matter if you go over the edges because, and I'm going to just add some dark just to give that a little bit of depth there, just a bit, and also just down the edge of that branch. There we are. And the yellow I think will just go straight on because it's not, it's a wee bit dry, this brush, so I can do that without worrying too much about having too much yellow, and we can just spread it a wee bit. I think I might do the same with the green, just round the edges a little bit. I'll just push that. There we are. I think that's it. Let's do this little bit here. A little bit darker. There. So we can move the water out the way. And the brushes and pens we can put over there. Give that a little light. Put it out the way. And we can just fussy cut. Ooh. So for this fussy cutting, I'm not going to leave a white edge. I want to get right in as close as I can. So I hope everyone's keeping well and enjoying the weather we've had here. Well, I don't know about the rest of the world, but in Scotland here we've been getting quite nice weather. There's definitely a touch of spring and maybe even, dare I say it, a little touch of summer on the way. We sat out for a little while, took the dog to the park. We knew the benches would be busy, so we carried a little collapsible deck chair with us. But as it turned out, we didn't need it because we managed to get a bench. So that was good. And the tennis courts were open, so we watched them having a bit of a laugh playing tennis. It was quite funny. The patter can be quite funny with the young ones playing tennis, arguing over whether the ball was I mean, they can't play This is just communal, council-owned tennis courts. It's not private courts where they could probably actually play. These are just folk having a bit of a laugh. You've got to take your own racket and your balls and have a bit of a hit around. But it's nice to see them being used in the park. Keep it quite well maintained, which is good. So there was two young couples playing, and of course they can't really play. I'm saying playing. They're hitting a ball about as best they can, but it's quite funny because it was in, no it wasn't. Are you blind? Of course it was out. And then there's people walking past and they're shouting to them, did you see that? Did you see that ball? You tell her that was in. I was like, oh my goodness. You would think their life depended on it. I suppose people can get quite wound up about winning and wanting to win. They're just having a carry on though, they're not really arguing. There we are, two little birdies. Let's move all that out the way. So, we bring back in our little bits and see which will go where. I think we'll put this one on this side and this one on this side. That's pretty good, because if that was there it would cover that nice bit of graphic there. So let's see, I'm going to do the little notch first. That's what I'm going to do. Let's just get a bit of paper in behind there to do the notch, because vellum can be quite tricky to notch. And this one, use the punch upside down so that you can see where you're going. There, that's it. Now, I want to do a little bit of inking just on the inside there so that the notch is showing the white through. So this is, what's this? You can hardly see it now. Vintage photo. Just a little bit there and a little bit there, just to take away from the white. That's better. And that's good. Good. So these will get sewn round, and then we'll stick on the birds, and then we'll ink round and give the back a little ink as well and stamp the little bird on the back. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine and I'll be back in a second. Okay, that's them sewn. I'm not the straightest sewer in the world, and it's a very old machine I've got, but I think it all adds to the charm if you don't do it straight. That's my excuse. So a little bit of inking round the sides, and that just covers up any little white bits that we've got shown through from the underneath, and then we'll give the back a little bit more of a thing, because the back is quite white. We just want to make sure it looks a little bit grungier and a little bit older. And there we are. Put that one there. We'll do the same here. The back. Everything's getting black thread on it just now because just find the needle so hard to thread. It's got quite a small eye, and the thought of changing the colour just for that, but I think the black goes okay with most things. And once my thread runs out, I might just change it to another colour. We'll see. Okay, so that's that. Let's let's get the little birds on. I've got my magazine here for my glue. So which way round was it again? Let's make sure we're doing this the right way. That's right, that one there and that one there. And I've just got my glue stick. Normally when you're sticking on vellum you need to be careful because obviously you can see through, but with this it doesn't matter because you don't see the inside of the pocket. There we are. And this little guy. But although we've been having nice weather, it's not so nice today. So we've not been out. Well, hubby went out this morning to meet his sister for a wee coffee. But I was at work this morning, still working from home. So that suits me well. Don't need to go into the office yet. Don't know when that day will come, but I'm quite happy for the moment. Right, let's get a little bird on the back. So I've got this stamp set, which is my Mind's Eye Gingham Gardens, and this is definitely new, just a few months, so you should be able to get this. Now I need a wee block. Oh, excuse me. The blocks are at the back there, and I've got some rich cocoa memento, just to give that a little bit of brown. I thought the black would be too stark. There we are. Two little birds in the back, gives it a nice little finishing touch. So, all aboard. That looks like it's not stuck down, but it's the vellum that's curling up. Right, so we've got five nice pockets, journaling on the back, journaling cards made from postcards and a little bit of vellum. So they can be added to my basket of makes. I've got my 2 book hinged cards. I've got my little clusters from the other day, and my 4, 5, 4, 5. Can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My 5. That one's a slightly bigger size. Pockets. Excellent. So whenever I'm next doing my nature journal, or any journal for that matter, I can quickly grab something and it will be nice and easy and good to go. So that's journal cards with vellum pockets using postcards for Roxy's weekly challenge week 17. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye for now.